What's up? Wow, that good, huh? Summer's hard, man. Like, I have to sleep till whenever I want to get up and all of that. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so are you impressed? Yeah. No, I wouldn't be impressed either. I was thinking about the fact that there's been many times in my life when I put on some athletic shoes, athletic shorts, and all that kind of stuff, and I went to a gym, or I have some of these at home too, and I decided, okay, I'm going to start working out, and I'm going to get in good shape. And I would commit, and I would do it for 2 weeks, and then quit, all right? And this has happened so many times in my life. And I decided this is something I really want to do. I want to look better. I want to get, just be more healthy. I had different motivations throughout the years, but over and over I would go and I would work out and I work out and work out, and then within, sometimes it was a week, sometimes it was, I made it as long as a few months one time, but every single time, obviously I quit, right? And because I'm still just a skinny little me. And so I never managed to, bulk up, which was always the goal. And so because I would, start and I would quit before I got anywhere. In fact, I was thinking, I'll get motivated at different times, okay? So when I graduated high school, actually, it was one of those, because I was going to go to college, and I was like, okay, I'm really skinny, and I'm kind of a little guy, and I was like, there's going to be new girls in college, and so I need to bulk up. And so that summer, I started working out, and I had all that fresh motivation, and it lasted for about 3 or 4 weeks. I did it 4 or 5 times a week, and then all of a sudden, I just got tired of it, and I quit. But just think, what if, since I graduated in 2003, okay? What if I had been working out some of you are like, oh my gosh, she's old. I wasn't even born, right? Yeah, what if I had that? Since then, okay, I would be in really good shape. Can you imagine? It'd be a totally different person standing here than there is today, but that didn't happen, so that didn't happen, okay? And there was another time when I actually did really good. So I was about to get married, and I figured that was a good time to get in shape. And so I started doing this, this thing is called Insanity. It's DVDs you do, and it's really hard. And so I heard some sighs. Somebody else has done it. And so I did this, and I did it really good for 3.5 weeks. And I started feeling better. I had more energy. I could run down the hall and not be out of breath. It was amazing, okay? It was so many good things happening. And then I slipped and fell and hit my toe on a corner of something and cracked my toenail, okay? And so then I'm walking like this, and you can't do Insanity with a broken toenail. It just does not work, okay? If you've ever seen this, it's insane. And so I stopped. Well, about a week later, my toe was healed. I could walk again. Do you think I started working out? Nope. All right. And so that was my excuse. Something came along, and then I didn't do it anymore. And it's just something that's happened over and over again. And maybe you've had a similar experience, and maybe with something else. Because I've noticed this, you've probably noticed this, change is hard sometimes, okay? Especially if you're trying to change something about you, who you are. Changing who you are can be really hard. And you've maybe experienced this, okay? Maybe you decided sometime last school year, I'm going to make better grades this time. And you're gonna I'm gonna study and not Netflix, okay? And I'm gonna do it. And you made it for 3 days, right? And then that new season came out and whatever it was, okay? And it just fell right back off, okay? And you maybe experienced this exact same. There's all kinds of areas that maybe you've done it in, maybe it was school. Maybe you decided, I'm gonna stop yelling at my sister all the time or my mom or whatever. And so I'm gonna get along with my family, and you were really patient, okay? For a day and a half, okay? And then you remembered why you weren't before, okay? And you tried to change something about yourself in that way. Maybe you tried to break a bad habit, and you just, you managed for a little while and it came back. And we've all tried, I think, to change. I hope that you've tried to change. You're not I'm so good, I don't need to change. I think we've all tried to change, and we've all experienced that it is hard sometimes. Am I right? Okay? It's hard, especially when you're trying to change, who you are. I have tried to change many times in the past to be tidy, organized, okay? My room, I like it when my bedroom is clean. Does anybody else, you like that? But how many of your bedroom right now is a total mess? Anybody else? Okay. Yeah, that's the way, somebody's well, kind of, yeah. My room is typically a mess, and it works like this. I'll get inspired, I'll clean the whole thing, and it'll look good. And it'll be that way for 2 weeks, and then there'll be a sock, right? and that sock starts it. I don't know how, but one sock. And then 2 days later, it looks like I dumped all of the laundry everywhere. It's just a total disaster. It just happens so fast. And it's because I'm trying not to just do something different. Really, you're changing kind of who you are. Instead of being someone that's a little bit messy, I'm trying to be someone that's organized. And changing who you are can be complicated. But there is something that we can do that actually is an amazing thing. Because your habits actually make up a lot of who you are. So the reason why some of you are successful in some areas and not in others is because of the habits that you've created and the habits that you have and the habits that you do. In fact, if you see somebody that's really successful, okay, like at something, okay, maybe they're a really, really good runner. They are a really good runner, not just because of natural talent or whatever. They're also a good runner because of the habits that they have. Every good runner I've known has a habit of running, okay? They have a routine they do all kinds of things. If you know somebody that is really organized, they have a habit to do that. If you know somebody that makes good grades, you go, they're just smart, okay? No, okay? I can tell you that because I was not the smart kid. I just had the better grades. And the reason was I had good habits, okay? My habits were things like this, okay? When I came home, I didn't do fun until I did homework, was done, okay? Well, it rhymed. I didn't even mean to do that. But anyway, so I didn't do other things until my homework was done. And I made flashcards for every test. Why? Because my friends could read it and remember it, and I couldn't. I had to have a flashcard. I literally made thousands upon thousands of flashcards through high school. But it was my habits, okay? And I'm not telling you need that habit. That's just my habit, I was saying. And that was the habit that got me grades. And so here's the thing. Our habits really make who we are. And if you make good habits, you will make good changes. If you make bad habits, okay, and some of those are pretty obvious, then you're going to have bad changes. And it's kind of obvious in some areas. If you started lifting weights, okay, today, and you did that for a few years, in a few years, you're going to look different, right? There's some habits that I hope that you do every single day. I hope you brush your teeth, okay? Now, this is maybe the easiest of illustrations we can give, okay, about what a habit can do for you. If you will brush your teeth every single day, you will have this is like your mom talking to you right now. You need to brush every day, right? But here's the thing. When you get older, you will have less cavities, okay? I know people that are my age that already have fake teeth, okay? Like some teeth replaced because they did not brush their teeth. If you will brush your teeth every day, you will have all your teeth. Your teeth will be prettier and whiter, and people will stop getting away from you because your breath smells so bad. Like, that's what's happening, okay, if you're not brushing. We know, all right? So, and it's one of those things. Now, here's another thing about brushing your teeth. If you do it one time a year, that really doesn't help, right? Even if you did it for a whole week and then do it the rest of the year, that's not going to really do anything, is it? There's something about the repetition, and you understand that. And also, you know what? If you miss one day, it's really not going to affect that much. I mean, if you brush your teeth 364 times a year, but one night you fell asleep before you did, is that going to really change anything? No, not really. Okay, it's not really good. It's not that big of a deal. So the weird thing about habits is they add up and they stack up over the course of your life, and they can cause huge changes in the course of your life and what happens. So I was thinking about that and how important your habits are, and I realized that there is a habit that if you could create, actually would probably definitely affect every area of your life for the good. It would make your relationships better. You would see some of your friends' lives get better. Your relationship with God would get better. In fact, that's one of those areas that some of us have a hard time changing, isn't it? Like we want to change, but we have a hard time doing it. So maybe you went to camp one year and you're so close to God, I'm so excited about what God's going to do in my life. And like 3 weeks later, you're like, well, there went that, right? Or you got real expired and thought, I'm going to start reading my Bible. Jess was just talking about that. I'm going to just read my Bible. I'm going to do this thing. And you did it for like a few days, and then, you skip some, and then a month, and then it's like, oh yeah, where is my Bible, right? I don't even know. And it goes in that kind of thing. And we've gone through that, and we've tried to change, and we tried to grow our relationship with God. If we could get this habit, this one habit, our relationship with God would be so much stronger, and we would see him acting more in our lives, doing more things in our lives. Some of you would overcome something that you've been trying to overcome for a long time just by doing this one habit. Okay, so let's take a look real quick what this habit is, and then I am going to give you every tool that I know to help you actually do this habit, like for reals. Okay, so here we go. Here's the habit. Okay, this is from Paul. Okay, Paul wrote this, and this is the simplest thing Devote yourselves to prayer, he says. Colossians chapter 4, verse 2. Devote yourselves to prayer. Now, when I read this is a little convicting to me because this word devote, is kind of a big word. If you know somebody that's devoted to something. I know people that were so devoted to, we talked about running. So devoted to track and running that they would, for the entire semester, not eat ice cream or drink soda or any of the goodness of life. They wouldn't do any of that stuff. I was like, what is wrong with you? And I'm trying to run faster. They were so devoted, they would change all kinds of things about their life. Now, and he's saying, hey, devote yourself to prayer. That's kind of a big thing. And I think that all of us would say, okay, prayer is important, but am I devoted to it? Have I made it a priority? Has it become something that I'm really going to pursue? Because prayer will change you. Prayer is how we develop our relationship with God. Prayer is what brings God's will into your life. Paul said that when you're stressed, you should pray. This could be the key to you getting over your stress. When you are dealing with a struggle and an addiction and a problem, prayer will get you there. Prayer will get you over it. When you have a friend that needs help, when you have a friend who's away from God and you want to see them change, prayer gets the ball rolling. We need this in our life. We all know, I think, if you're a believer, that is something that's important. But for some reason, let's be honest, most of us, we can go a week and go, oh yeah, well, at least it's Amplify again, I'll pray there, right? And that kind of a thing. So I want us to devote to it. And let me just be really real clear here. How important is prayer to your spiritual life? If you want to grow spiritually, if you want to grow in your relationship with God, how important is it? It's vital. Do you know what vital means? Okay, think about this. You have vital organs, and then you have non-vital, or even non-vital parts. So let's think about this. This thumb, my thumb, I like it. I hope I have it my entire life, okay? However, if you removed my thumb, I would keep living, right? You can survive without your thumb. You can live hard to text at that point, but you can live a normal, productive life, well, pretty normal, without your thumb, okay, because it's not vital. If you take your heart out, you're dead, okay? Your body does not keep going. It is vital. And spiritually, your relationship with God will die without prayer. You cannot grow, you cannot pursue Him without this thing. Now, I know we have a lot of things that come into mind, and I haven't done it, and blah, 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 but we're going to help through that. But it is so important. So I'm going to give you some great tools to overcome to actually do this. So what we want to do is create a habit of prayer. A habit of prayer. So remember, a habit is something that, can change your life, because it adds up over time. So we're going to create together a habit of prayer, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So if you want to create a new habit, I'm going to show you some steps that you have to do, and we're going to specifically talk about creating this habit of prayer. Okay, here's step 1. You need to decide when. If you don't decide when, it won't happen, because this is exactly what I know happens. We talk about something here on Wednesday night, and sometimes you get really I'm going to do it. Have you ever felt this about something? Maybe it was reading your Bible. Maybe it was prayer. Maybe it was something we talked about. Okay, you're like, I'm going to do that. And the next day, you forgot, right? Am I real? Okay, I know because I've seen you. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what happens so much of the time when we just forget. Or you get really busy and then it just doesn't happen, okay? So if we don't say, okay, this is what's going to happen. Tomorrow you won't do it. You might tonight go, I'm going to make a habit of prayer. And tomorrow it won't happen, okay? And much less moving forward because it will have already broken. So we have to decide when. Now, I'm going to give you kind of what I would call a pro tip for deciding when. Okay, here's my pro tip. It's something called habit stacking. Habit stacking. Now, what this is when you take a habit that you already have and you stack another habit next to it. So something that you already do every day and you put a new habit on it. So I'll give you an example of something I've done in my life. So I told you guys I'm not real tidy. I'm not real organized with my stuff. In fact, my office, I have an office here at church, is usually a wreck. You come in there, there's stuff everywhere, all over the desks, even on the floor. I'm like, you can't sit on the couch because it's covered in clothes, that kind of stuff. Okay, it's really bad. And so I decided about 3 weeks ago, I'm going to try and change that. And all I did was I habit stacked. So every day when I get done with work, I turn off my computer. There's a little button, I turn it off. And so all I did was when I hit this button, I'm leaving, I'm going to clean for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, that's not very long. And so I've been doing this for 3 weeks, and my office is 90% clean now. It's moving in that direction. You know what, the first day, the first 2 minutes, it was did I even do anything? Like, it's still a disaster. The next day, same thing. The next day, just a little bit better. And finally, I was like, hey, it's pretty good. And then like 2 weeks later, someone came in and said, whoa, you cleaned your office. And I was like, yep, 2 minutes a day. And all it was this little habit stack. Because now, it's like a habit now. I turn off my computer, I stand up, and I start straightening things, okay? And it just starts to happen. And my goal is that now here's what I hope really happens, okay? In like a couple more months, my office will be clean, and it'll stay clean. And people will come in and say, wow, that guy's really organized. All right, and then suddenly I will have changed, okay, not just what my office looks like, but who I am. Like, I'm going to go from being a slob, okay, let's just say it, a slob, okay, to an organized person. Why? Because I stacked the habit onto another habit. It's something that simple, and what I'm doing is trying to change who I am, and what I'm really trying to do is change who you are. From somebody that wants a relationship with God to somebody that has a relationship with God. To somebody that thinks prayer would be a good idea to say, I pray every day. So we want to decide when. Now, in just a minute, we're going to kind of write some of this stuff down, but let me show you how it might work. You might write down, I will pray at, 8 o'clock in my room. Okay, at some place, or at some time at this location. That's one way. I think maybe an even better way would be that habit stacking idea. So you might say something like this, and here's a current thing that you do every day, I will pray. So maybe that's before I brush my teeth, okay, in the morning, okay? I will pray if you do that every day, okay? Or maybe this would be better, okay? Before I plug in my cell phone, I will pray. Can you imagine you get in your bed? Like, how many of you plug in your phone right when you get in bed every night? Okay, that's what I do every single night. So my phone's charged for the next day. You're going to plug it in, you're like, wait, before I plug this in, I'm going to pray. And maybe that would be a great thing. What I used to do, I did this for a long time. Maybe this would be a good idea to do again. Before I turned out my light, because I sleep with the lights off. You do that? Yeah? Okay. Before I would turn off my light. So I would put, before I turn off my light, I will pray. And so every single night I would do this. I had a lamp, and I would go turn off my lamp, and I was like, oh, and I would pray first. And you know what? When I did that, it's amazing how often I would pray, because this was just a habit. It was something I had stacked together. So maybe it's that. I told I'll get into that in a minute. Okay, so this is a great way. Before I do this, I'll pray. You could also do it after I get out of bed, or after I go to the bathroom. Like, you probably want to go to the bathroom first. We're doing the pee-pee dance while you're praying, okay? So after I go to the bathroom, I will pray. Whatever it is, whatever your current habit is, then you're going to pray. So that makes sense. So that's deciding when. That's step one. The step two is deciding how. So you got it. So this is when I'm going to do it. Now, how am I going to do it? Now, this is going to be, you're going to like this. Because some of you go, okay, I don't pray because I don't have time. Okay, which it's summer, stop lying, okay? I've seen your screen time on your phones, a lot of you, all right? Anyways, but let's help you even more, okay? You're saying it's boring, okay? Maybe that's your thing or whatever it is. Here's how. I'm going to actually talk about how long. So here's our goal. Are you ready? 2 minutes a day. 2 minutes. That's not very long. Every single person here has 2 minutes in their day. So here's the how. I'm going to ask you that for 2 minutes in your day that you pray. Now, if you want to do it longer, that's fine. If you already have a routine of doing it longer, I'm not telling you to slash it down. But here we go. Start with 2 minutes. That's a great place to begin. If you'll start with 2 minutes a day, so it might be before I plug in my phone, I will pray for 2 minutes. You could set an alarm, Hey Siri, set an alarm for 2 minutes, okay? And then when that goes, you're done. You can do it that way if you want, however you want to do it, but this is a great how. Okay, here's the next thing you got to do. You got to decide what. So you're going to pray. What do I do? What do I say? Okay, so I want to help you with that. I want to give you 2 ideas on what you could pray about. Pray what's on your list. I don't have a list. Oh, good point. Let me tell you what that means. So here's a great thing to do. In just a minute, we're going to give you a thing that you can write some of that down on. But on there, you could write down some names of some people that you're concerned about, somebody that you know that's away from God. You could write down a situation that you're worried about. You could write down whatever it is. Maybe you're concerned about moving up to a new grade. Maybe you're concerned about graduating, or whatever it is. Whatever's going on in your life, maybe someone in your family that's sick. And you write a few of those things down, and then during that 2 minutes, you just look at your list and you pray for those people or those things in your life during the time. Or what's on your heart. And what I literally mean by that is you go to pray, and there's something that's been bothering you all day. There's something that's on your mind, and you just pray about that. For 2 minutes isn't very long. You'll be able to pray about that thing. And so what's on your heart or what's on your list, that would be your what. Okay, and here's one more. Track your progress. Hey, can one of you bring me one of those things over there by Matt? Matt, there's one like by your elbow, I think. So we're going to track your progress. And they're going to hand these out in a minute, but not yet, guys. I'm going to just kind of show y'all. I was supposed to bring one up here, so I didn't have to awkwardly do this. Thank you so much. So in just a minute, what we're going to do is we're going to give you all one of these. So this is basically your summer right here. It's kind of scary to see it in just little dots. And so it starts with tonight. This is May 29th. If you were to do this, you would pray for 70 days in a row, which would be amazing. Okay, on this side it says, I am someone who prays every day, and this is some stuff we're going to write down. But right here we got this. So this is the idea. You put this somewhere, okay, where you're going to pray. So wherever your location is or whatever, where you're going to pray. And after you do, I'm going to give everybody a marker tonight. Okay, you get to leave with a marker, all right? All right, there you go. And you can fill in your bubble or put an X or a check mark, however you like to do it, that you did it that day. And then one little bubble doesn't look like very much, but then when you have another one and another one and another one, and it's going to be pretty cool because by the end, you're going to have a whole full thing, 70 days in a row that you prayed. Now, you might, and this only give you a little bit of advice. If you miss one, it's way better to have one blank one and it kept going, or even two blank ones, and it kept going, then you go, and right here, it stopped. You know what I'm saying? It's better to have a couple empty slots and a mostly filled out card than a halfway done card that got blank. Does that make sense? So don't give up just because you missed a day. Now, I'm hoping you don't, and you're going to make it, okay? I mean, you can keep a Snapchat streak going for 450,000 days, okay? You can do 70 days at 2 minutes, all right? It's going to be way less than your time to do that. So this is pretty simple, and this is going to be a cool thing. In fact, I would love it if some of you would text me pictures of this, that you've done it, and let me see how you're doing, and that kind of stuff. That would be pretty cool. And so this is a way for you to track it and see what you're doing. And well, let me give you one more. This is like a bonus tip. Do this with somebody else. If you really want to up your chances of being successful, because I know what it's like. Like you may even right now think, okay, I can do this, and then something happens along the way. Have somebody that's doing it with you. So like if there's a friend in this room, there's a friend maybe that's not here tonight, and you want to tell them about it, okay? Tell them to go watch it online, the video or whatever, and do it together. But here's what you can do. You know, here we go. Use Snapchat, okay? Instead of sending a picture of an S, send a picture of this, okay? And that can be your new streak with that person, okay? And see if you can start a 70-day streak of prayer with that person. Or maybe you want to use Instagram and just DM each other or text messages, or maybe you have a more creative way than I can think of. So maybe you want to find some way to do this with another person. Maybe you want to do somebody in your family, and y'all want to do that together. That would be cool too. So finding a person to do that with, that's just a little bonus. You don't have to do that. But I would really encourage you to do all of the other 4. So I tell you what, why don't y'all go ahead and start handing these out to them, and they're going to hand these out to you, and they're just going to pass them down the row. And while they're doing that, I want us to think about this. I want you to become, not just do something, but become someone that can say this. I am someone who prays every day. In fact, can you just say that with me? Say, I am someone who prays. Okay, let's try that again. Ready? Here we go. I am someone who prays every day. Now, right now, you may feel like you just lied in church, which I don't know if that sends you directly to hell or not. No, I'm just kidding. But look, that may not be true right now. But you know what? You do this, and you can say that and mean it. In fact, I would say you can start saying that by Saturday, okay? You can start saying that. It's like, man, 4 days in, I am somebody who prays every day. And this is what happens. It will become who you are, and you'll be somebody different. Okay, so let me give you some instruction about what these are. They're still coming out, and we can do this together. So on this side, right now, is something we're going to do. You're going to see a bunch of lines right here, okay? On this top line, I'd like for you to write something like this, okay? You could write, before I and a current habit. And I want you to think for a second about what would really be a good thing for you. What is something you actually do every day? It could say after I, if that's better for you. Before I, current habit, I will pray for 2 minutes. And I just added every day on there because because I wanted to remind you that's every day. Before I, current habit, before I turn out my light, before I plug in my phone. By the way, I had an idea for some of you that want to do the plug in your phone. Take a pin, poke a hole right here in the middle of this, okay? And then stick your charger through it, okay? So that you literally have to see this every time you're going to plug in your phone. And then just do it, okay? Or if you're going to do the light thing, get a piece of tape and tape it to the light, all right? And then you're going to go turn, oh yeah, all right? And if you go on vacation, take it with you. If you forget it, you know you can pray without it and fill it in when you get home, okay? And that kind of thing. But make this be something that's there to help remind you and do that. So you could do it that way. You could write, I will pray at this time in this location 2 minutes every day. I think this one will probably work better for you, the top one. So that would be like your top line there, or top 2 lines. And then the rest of those lines are for you to write down some of those whats. And maybe there's already some stuff on your heart and you want to write down this this name, this person, this situation, and that will be the things that you will pray about. And so that will be with you. And the reason I put this so big here that says, I am someone who prays every day is because I want you to begin to say that about yourself. In fact, I would maybe be a good habit is when you finish praying and you say, in Jesus' name, amen. You look at that and you say to yourself, I am someone who prays every day. And what I'm hoping is that we'll start with 70 days, that this will become in this time a new habit for you that lasts. And in the length of when you think about somebody like, okay, let's just use her because we always do. Y'all know Jess, okay? And you think, man, she's so spiritual, right? Like she knows God so much. Like we think that she had this one encounter with God one day and it was like, boom, super spiritual Jess, like instant. That's not how it happened, is it, Jess? It started because she started reading her Bible. She started praying, and she started making a habit out of those things. And we're doing one of those habits now. And she grew into who she is today. And that is the truth of every spiritual, every godly person that you know. It started because they created a habit. And so I'm hoping that you will. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to actually take just a moment, and I'm going to ask you to do this right now. So I'm actually going to awkwardly sit here and ask you to sit here quietly while everybody else fills that out. And if you've already done it, then just click your pins like you're doing right now, I guess. That's a nice sound, yeah. Sounds like applause. Thank you. I didn't know my message was that good. It's like, yeah. Okay, I'm just kidding. So, I do just want to ask you to think about what your life might be like if you actually had a deeper relationship with God. Like, not just something that you want, but it was true. And I believe this can help you do that. And I really mean that. And so I hope that you'll do this. If you need help with it, you need encouraging, let me know. We'll hear for you. We'll help you. We'll encourage you. But I want to see, and we'd love to hear about what your progress is like. I'm going to do it too. This is going to be on my nightstand. Mine is before I turn off the light. That's probably the one I'll do. See, I say Alexa, turn off the light because I have an Alexa who does it. But anyways, so that's not a anymore. That'd be a little bit weird. But anyway, I'll put it on the Alexa or something. But that's what I'm going to do. So I hope that you will do it as well. We're going to end. We always just take just a couple of minutes to give you a chance to pray, because I know that some of you came in here with a need and you would like somebody to pray with you. And so I would just say it's only be a couple of minutes, and then we've got brownies and ice cream and all that goodness. But if you need prayer for something, don't leave without letting somebody believe with you. And so we're going to sing part of a song together, and then we'll be dismissed. But if during this song you need prayer, just go to the back and let somebody pray with you. Father, I thank you that you love us. I pray that we would all develop this new habit of prayer. In Jesus' name, amen.